going to stay on for the overtime, and we'll see what happens. Wow, what a turn of events! What a turn of events! And I have something to play once this game is over. I'm going to play it no matter how it ends. I'm shocked. I'm in disbelief and don't understand why it happened, but it is what it is. Defense gives up 2 big goals, and here we are. I just hope that they this, we need these points. And this, I talked about getting in Minnesota's head. Not anymore. If you were, you gave it, you did the exact opposite of what you needed to do. And it always scares me when a team has the puck this long, because they take that one shot, and then, just like Minnesota the last game, they had the puck the first minute and a half, and then they make a mistake and the Blues come back the other way. There it is. There it is. Bushhhhhh and Shin. There it is. There it is. There's the winner. Oh my goodness. Woohoo! Didn't like winning it in overtime, but it's a win, and that's 100 points. We are definitely in the playoffs. Minnesota's a point out, and wow. You got to give Minnesota all the credit in the world. They came straight back. Right, and it's good to see the Blues win this. I mean, they're figuring out the 3-on-3, how to make it work. You got to love that. They're figuring out the 3-on-3 and how to make it work. And I'm excited, man. Wow. I don't know, Chris. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Jeff, tonight I will agree with you. I will kind of agree with you tonight. They did not have good games. Hey, Jeff, this is for you.
Right? Here's another one. Oh my God, Scandella's the worst fucking defenseman, and I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm pissed. I'm so sick and tired of you. Scandella's so fucking bad. He can't play worth a shit. Fucking trade Scandella for a goddamn bag of pucks right the fuck now. It don't work that way, people.
That was for you, Jeff. That was for you. Joe says, "What a game!" I'm with you, Joe. It was, yeah, man. Windy,
hey,
I'm pissed at you. I'm pissed at you, my friend. And he's not moving now. Come on, internet. Don't be bad on me.
I kind of said Minnesota can get a few quick ones.
That's why I'm afraid. I'm pissed at you. You jinxed us.
I was hoping for it to happen.
You almost cost us the game, bud.
I was hoping Minnesota would have won, but they still got a point, and a point's a point. It still can help.
Yeah, I mean it does. There's a point difference. You could have if you win this game, you take the game in hand out of play.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have to be a point ahead of you.
Yes.
Because tied, we have the tiebreaker. So taking it to overtime was huge for Minnesota, right? It really was.
Regulation wins in Minnesota?
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. We've got like 5 more, 5 or 6 more, right? They have more wins, but we have more regulation wins. They've got a lot of overtime games, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they've got a lot of overtime games, where we don't have as many overtime wins. All ours are overtime losses. We're now 5-10 in the overtime. How bad is that? Well, I mean, if the 3-on-3 just doesn't work for us, and we don't have, the 3-on-3, you've got to win that first face-off, and then you've got to keep that speed. And if you make a shot, you've got to be able to cover the rebound. Otherwise, it's going the other way, and that's what happened tonight.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, it was a great game, and this is. I played this earlier. I'm probably going to play it like 3 or 4 times tonight because this works so good tonight.
Uh-huh.
Right? Here's another one. Oh my God, Scandella's the worst fucking defenseman, and I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm pissed. I'm so sick and tired of you. Scandella's so fucking bad. He
Well, it might work that way. Anybody got a bag of pucks they want? Yeah, they want to get rid of. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What are you sending me there, buddy?
That's from the other night.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look at it here. Hold on. Let me pop on it real quick. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You win. You know I love you, right, Wendy?
Yeah.
No, I absolutely love you. And here we go. Look at this, man. Anybody recognize that handsome gentleman? Anybody recognize that? Oh my goodness. Michael Edwards says Clint. Scandella with the tap in goal. Yeah. Way to score one for this team, Scan, man.
I think Minnesota technically clinched also with this point.
No, they had. I think you need 100. They'll clinch if the Kings and Vegas lose tonight.
Okay.
Because if Kings and Vegas lose in regulation, the best they can do is 98. Then
right now, the Oilers are beating Vegas 2-0.
Yeah. Okay.
In the third period.
There you go. Yeah, Chris. I don't know what to do right now. I got to give you credit. That was great. Did you wear it or just bring it?
No, I wore it.
Wore it?
Pat Foley also saw the jersey itself. He even
really?
We were talking about it before the game. I went up by the press box area, and he kind of looked over and saw my jerseys, left, and then we got into like a 5-minute conversation.
Did he sign it?
He could, unfortunately, could not because he was like 15 feet higher than where I was standing, okay. So it was kind of hard to.
I'd have took it off and threw it to him.
I would have tried. I should have tried and asked, but I didn't want to ruin everything like that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm glad you got to do that. Right? I'm glad you got to do that. That's really cool, Wendy.
Yeah,
that's really cool, man. I'm happy for you. That is absolutely cool as hell. Wow, man. I give it to you, Win. That's really cool, right? And even Matt Lowe gives it to you. I'm almost at a loss for words tonight, Wendy. This whole game, first of all, for the Blues to be up 4-1 in the third, and then to just go to overtime, I don't know what to say, right?
I kind of said Minnesota's a team that can grind it out, and they kind of did. They managed to get it to overtime. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the extra point.
Yeah.
But they were they're a grinder. They can grind games out to the final horn.
Do you know where this game was almost lost?
Where?
Oh, I thought I sent him the link. I mean, come on, guys. Hold on, let me get Lance a link. I thought I sent him one. In fact, I know I did, but hold on. I thought I sent. There we go. I'm trying to send links, and for some reason they're not going. Oh, wrong guy.
So Letty missed the entire the third period.
Yeah, Letty missed the entire third.
Okay. So he could have a concussion.
It's possible. They said he was still being worked on.
Okay.
Right. I don't know why my thing isn't going. Yeah, I don't. For some reason, it's not going to Ian as much as I'm trying there. I don't know what's going on, man. It's just one of them days. Just one of them days. Ian, I am trying to send you a link, my friend, but for some reason, it is not going to you, and I don't know why. I've sent it like 4 times. See what I can get to Lance. Give me a second, guys. I apologize. I don't know what's going on. It might be my internet, too, messing this up a little bit. Lance, check the group chat. There's a link in there, my friend. Yeah, I think it's my internet not letting things go through. So I got them sent. I just don't know why they're not getting them. There we go. Where are we at in the chats? Letty was out in the third, and our defense kind of collapsed. I don't think it was actually. Do you know where this game turned? It didn't turn on that. This game turned in the first minute and a half. The 5-on-3, right? That 5-on-3 where you had them, 4-1. And they played prevent defense. Oh well, we're up 4-1, so we don't need to score. If they score, they didn't take a shot 5-on-3. How do you not take a shot 5-on-3?
Usually,
right?
if you don't score on 5-on-3, you're going to end up losing the game.
Right? You need to score in that position. You need to score. You absolutely have to score in that position, and that there's no ands ifs or buts. You have to score in that position, and not scoring there, not even taking a shot, almost cost the Blues. I'll be honest with you right there. When we missed the 5-on-3 almost last game, the arrogance showed up for a few minutes. I'll with you there. Yossi was out for a bit too. Lance needs a link, peeps. I'm trying, guys. I don't know what's going on. I can't send links. I'm trying. I've tried to send links. I can't send it via Instagram. Trying to send it, and my messenger just will not let me send anything. Tell Lance to check the group chat with Maddie. There's a link there. Because I just clicked on it, and it brought me in. All right, I think it will. I'm double checking it. I just heard him. There we go. Lance, I don't know what's going on with my internet. I sent the one link.
It's all right.
Apologize, bud. Hopefully his eye is fine. That's what I was worried about. I think the cut was below his eye, right?
It was just under the eye, kind of where the visor meets, like where the visor ends up.
It was like just under the visor, right?
Yeah. It was right where the visor kind of lines up on his face.
Right.
Ashley
has personal stuff going on today, guys. Sammy says I'm kind of pissed, but we won, and Pareko kind of sucks, and we missed Letty. Pareko, that was bad. And Scandella, oh my goodness.
Well, here's the thing, guys. It happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you stand in front of that net as a defenseman, puck's going to go off you sometime. I remember a couple of years ago when Bouwmeester was still hurt, and that goal went off of him into his own net against Edmonton. Then he did it two more times.
No, it happened once against Chicago.
Yeah, and all these people
won a game.
Yeah, all these people harping on him, and I know he's not the best defenseman, but guys, it happens. It happens, and you know what? That's not the reason why this game ended up the way it did. The Blues let off the pedal on the third period, thanks to Mr. Defense First Berube, and this one's on him. It wouldn't have gone to OT at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It wouldn't have. And this is what worries me. This is what worries me about the playoffs. This team is scoring a lot now, but once it hits playoff time, Berube is going to pound defense. And I could see this team having a hard time scoring 2 or 3 goals a game in the playoffs. I know we're happy about a win, guys, but I'm not happy because
it's not a good win. It's actually not a good win.
It's not. It's not a good win. I mean, I was just waiting for people. If the Blues would have lost, I was just waiting for people to go, well, at least we came out of it with a point. You can't think that way.
Yeah, no. It would. You should have won this one in regulation. You should have won this one in regulation.
And Husso wasn't good in the third period. The Blues weren't good, and Husso wasn't good in the third period.
Yeah, Husso was not.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Jordan Binnington would have had a 4-1 lead and this happened? They would be calling for his head.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Bennington was not, or Husso was not. Did not have a good third period. I mean, some of the goals weren't against him, but there were other things that I saw there that could have been, that he could have done better. And the one out of his glove, rebound control.
That's his.
How many times have we talked about that?
Yep, he's got a clear clear vision on that puck, and there's no.
Yeah, you've got to
excuse for
hold that
one.
puck. Now here's the Nick showed it. There's the Letty where Letty got cut.
Right
Actually,
below
it
his
was
eye.
higher up than I thought. Right, that's right at his eye. Wow.
I know there was a better photo of it earlier that popped up. I can't find it now.
No problem. He's got to get Kyrou off that fourth line. I think Kyrou needs to be on that fourth line. I don't want Kyrou anywhere else right now, to be honest with you. Right? Kyrou, I mean, he had a great shot. He had a good shot. He had one good shot tonight. But Kairou's confused, and you can absolutely see it in his play.
Well,
right?
who's confusing him? I don't want him on the fourth line. He's going to be wasted on the fourth line.
But he's not playing well on any other line, Lance.
He is playing. He's not playing as bad as everybody thinks he is. Berube is the reason he's playing bad. Trust me. You can see the guy wants to let it all out and wants to do things, and he's squeamish about it. And I don't understand it. Either let him play or don't let him play. Don't keep going back and forth on the guy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, I'm waiting for this one. Oh, wow, she agrees with this. I was waiting for her Scandella comment. What does it take to get home ice? Right now, it's win them all. Right? It's win more games. It's be tied or win more games than Minnesota. They have a game in hand. It's in Minnesota. Minnesota has the upper hand right now. To be honest with you, right? Now, if you win this one outright. They don't. That's the big thing.
Yeah, Minnesota has more games at home.
Since it is going to be St. Louis versus Minnesota in the first round, either home or away for either side, I think Fleury's going to be the starter for Minnesota.
I could see that. I could see that. I mean, Talbot didn't play bad tonight. Talbot did not play bad tonight. I don't. Maybe one of those goals was on Talbot, right? Mm-hmm. But I could put 3 on Husso, right? The one where he doesn't seal the post.
Yeah.
Right. That's on him. I don't think the power play goal was on him. Maybe only 2.
I think Talbot let in 2 to 3 soft ones, just like Husso did.
Right. Scandella's flub was apparent. I do not need to beat a dead horse. We love you beating that dead horse there, Ash. We absolutely love you beating that dead horse. No, it's a tough. This is a tough game to talk about. It really is, when it shouldn't be. I mean, you have Thomas being the youngest player ever in Blues history to have a 12-game point streak, right? He beats Federico by about 8 days. Then you have Bushhhhhh with the 9-game streak. You have then you have Tarasenko on a 4-game goal streak. I thought he was going to get another one. I really did. Well, okay, you got. See, I have an issue with people saying that giving the puck away. I'm still not a fan. Because it got hit. He passed it up, it got hit, and it bounced right to Krill, the Kaprizov. So, he's trying to make a play there, right? And I see that. I'm not. I originally I thought it went straight to Kaprizov. I didn't see it get hit. What shock you got? Most goals of the team in franchise history. Really? Wow, I didn't know that.
No, it's most goals as a team for a 10-game stretch.
Oh, 10-game stretch. Okay.
I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's for the whole year.
Most times 4 goals or more. Yeah, 11 in a row. There we go.
Yep.
Got the Windmeister back. Where are we at? Okay, Wendy, who's your team in the playoffs?
It's going to be between Carolina or Florida.
Who are you going to be rooting for?
More than likely Florida.
Florida? Oh, no, I haven't turned you into a closet Blues fan for the playoffs.
Nope. Florida is the team I like in the Eastern Conference. I've always enjoyed watching them play, even though for the longest time they did suck.
Actually, I don't know about that. I don't know about Parayko pulling Scandella's dead weight.
No.
Scandella had a better game than Parayko tonight, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think he did too. And
Right.
Wendy talking about the Panthers. I go back and forth between them and Carolina, and then I look at the difference to me between those two teams and the Lightning. I think the Lightning, of course, and I think you'll agree with me. The Lightning, Florida, and the Carolina Hurricanes. I think which team gets to the finals there is going to be whoever has the best goaltending.
Yeah.
If Bobrovsky can come up big, I think Florida's just going to just mow through it personally.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's still people cage those cats. Richard says love overtimes, blowouts are boring. I don't know. That wasn't a boring blowout to me. I disagree. Parayko didn't put one literally in his own net. Basically, he did. I mean, the pass gets right to gets rebounded and right to Kirill Kaprizov. To me, they both costed goals, right? And
yeah, and as a defenseman, you don't get in front of the net and try to push guys out and sit there and consciously think, I better move. That puck could go off of me. I better move.
Yeah.
Would they have rather had him in that crease trying to push guys out? Or would they rather have him just standing 10 feet away, being afraid to get the puck? People, come on. It happens. It happens to some of the best defensemen. Happened to Ray Bourque. It happened to Paul Coffey. It happened to Bobby Orr. It happens, guys.
It happened to Pronger.
It happened to Pronger. It's part of the game.
Yeah,
Does it suck? Heck yes, it sucks. And I can guarantee you Scandella's not happy about it.
Yeah. Right? Who is a dark horse in the playoffs? Wendy?
A dark horse for the playoffs?
Well, in the playoffs, to win the dark horse to get to the finals.
East or West?
It depends on the conference, honestly. Yeah. Because in my opinion, the Stanley Cup is going back to the Eastern Conference this year.
I don't know about that. I do not know about that. I actually think the West is actually stronger than. I'll give that. I like that. Toronto is a dark horse.
No, Toronto's
I can't see Toronto make it out of the first round against Tampa Bay.
No goaltending. Zero goaltending.
Yeah.
And my team to watch, and people are going to hate me because I can't stand them, are the Predators in the West when it comes to the West. Because they're playing really good right now. And, there's going to be a team that doesn't take them seriously.
They could be Calgary.
Yeah, I mean, we all remember years ago, especially Wendy does, when Chicago went in there and, the Predators were huge favorites, or was it was vice versa. The Blackhawks were huge favorites and the Predators just beat them up. I mean, Of course, it's not the same team, but I would put the Predators in the West, and out of the East. And I hate to say they're a dark horse because they're one of the top teams, but they've not gone far in the playoffs for a while. Oh, geez. I don't know.
I almost have to say Carolina.
I was going to say Carolina because they just haven't gone to the playoffs that far in quite a while.
They were in the conference final 2 years ago.
Yeah, but of the last 5-6
years,
years,
got swept.
Yeah, the last 5-6, and I don't know. They didn't have it. I think their team this year is better than they were then. When you've got Tampa Bay and you've got Florida and you've got Carolina, one of them has to be a dark horse, and to me, it's not the Lightning and it's not the Panthers.
Yeah, no, the darkest. The only thing I can think of as a possible dark horse, and it all depends on what they do running down, is Boston. Because if Boston can get out of the wild card and get into that third spot, then I think they'll have a chance. But if they're in that wild card, I don't.
I realistically can't see Boston beating Carolina.
I can't either.
I mean, in this.
The likelihood of an upset in a wild card this year, I honestly think it's going to be the Washington Capitals if they beat the Florida Panthers.
I mean, it could. I could see that. But Wendy, I think the West is actually a better conference than the East, right? And the reason I say that is you look at the middle of the conference. There is no middle in the East. You have the top 8, you have the bottom 8. There's nothing in the middle. You look at the middle of the West, and the teams at that 8, 9, 10 spot are good teams, right? They're teams that could make noise in the playoffs. So for me, you've got Vegas, Dallas, the Jets. Those are all teams that could make noise in the playoffs, and that's your 7 or 8, 9, 10 spots.
I thought the Jets kind of got eliminated already.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, did they get eliminated?
I thought they did, but they're not.
Well, even if they, but what I'm saying is, if they had made the playoffs, they would be they would be and then Vancouver. I'm skipping Vancouver. Vancouver, I don't know about making noise, but the Jets I think could have made noise. But that's why do people keep going to the past? This will be a new postseason, and anyone can pull off a surprise. Mm-hmm. Oh, Ashley's getting feisty. Ashley says her dark horses are the Preds and the Caps.
Yeah, I could agree there.
The Central has 5 teams and nobody else does. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. We talked about this at the beginning of the season, and I said I see 5 teams from the Central getting into the playoffs. Yeah. I think I got the 5 teams right. I don't think I know I didn't get positioning right, but I think I got the 5 teams right.
It's 3-0 Oilers over Golden Knights with 8 minutes remaining in regulation.
Yeah. And when does the Kings play? Later, right?
The Kings play at 9:30 against the Blue Jackets.
Yep. Interesting game. Well, I mean, for right now, a nail biter. Kathy says a nail biter in the 3rd period. The thing is, Kathy, is it shouldn't have been. It really, in all actuality, should not have been a nail biter. The Blues, they play prevent defense, right? In that, if they come out and take tons of shots on that 5-on-3, they don't let them back in the game, right? You lay off in that 5-on-3, and on the power play right behind it, the 5-on-4, that puts them right back in the game. Right, I think, and you don't have to score on that, but you need to take it to them, right? But you laid back, and they knew you laid back, and they took advantage of it. That's what I think happened, right? And here, God, man, I hate being right in this one, but I said the team that gets to their game first and stays with it is the team that's going to win. And to be honest, they both got to their game. But the Blues got away from their game where Minnesota didn't, right? And Minnesota gets a point for it, right? I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, and what's amazing is we all remember the Blues. All they had to do was beat Colorado a couple of years ago to get past the first round, and they didn't do it. It wasn't a bad game
to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, to get into the playoffs. That's right. Yeah, and they didn't do it. This one point that they gave up to Minnesota could be huge. Now, can you imagine that 1 point, Minnesota beating us by 1 point? That's why this game was huge to win it in regulation.
Regulation, yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that, And, it is what it is, and you've got to – now you just got to handle your business. The Blues got to handle – they've got a tough game tomorrow, right? They're on an 8-game winning streak. Going in tomorrow in the Nashville, in the Smashville, right? That's not one to take lightly. A 6 p.m. game, you get a little less than a little more than 24 hours before you're playing again, right? Or not even 24 hours. So this is one of those where the Blues are going to have to block it out, and reset. I love Joshua's play tonight. I absolutely love Joshua's play tonight. He's 6'2". He played 6'7". He played big, just like the Torpedo did. I liked what I saw from him. I like our depth. Most of it I liked. I just didn't like the fact that we went into that prevent in the third when we had an opportunity to embarrass the team. And that probably would have been the right thing to do. Right? If you score 2 goals on that power play, this game's over.
Yeah, and I saw somebody a couple of games ago when the Blues were winning handily. I can't remember, 3 or 4 games ago. And they said, they're up by this many goals. What they really need to do is to play defensive because we don't want to embarrass them. Like hell, you don't want to embarrass them. I don't care if you're up 5-1, 6-1. If you've got a scoring opportunity, you keep the pedal to the metal. Now, if there's a minute left, maybe you just kind of, do some things differently. But, you can't take any lead for granted in this league, any lead.
No, I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. They're good teams. They're all good teams.
Yeah.
Wendy found me a better picture here. A second. And I will post it. So here's a better picture of the cut. Right? From that one it looks like it's right at the visor.
Yeah.
From the other one it looks like it's farther up the visor. Right? We did win the regulation series against them. That is true. They were 0-1-2, and we were 3-0-0. So I'll take that. Would have rather sat Brown and played Mikkola. I don't know. Mikkola needs the rest. I think. I think Mikkola needs the rest. I felt that for a bit now.
Yeah.
Right. Hey Lance, this is for you, my friend.
Very much longer. Right? Here's another one. Oh my God, Scandella's the worst fucking defenseman, and I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm pissed. I'm so sick and tired of you. Scandella's so fucking bad. He can't play worth a shit. Fucking Trent Scandella for a.
And I tried sending
right the fuck now. It don't work that way, people.
I tried sending a link, bud, but my internet was messed up, so I apologize that. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Well, you might be happy. Come on, Lance. That's good.
It is. It's. I will say this: the one thing you've done that's gotten me out of a funk from being angry or upset or going through a depressive instance is that one of Ashley's daughters saying, "Let's go Blues." That's my favorite one.
Oh, you mean?
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Favorite one. That'll always put a smile on my face.
Yeah, that does too. On another note, that makes 8 wins in a row. Yeah, it does. And, 9 is going to be hard. 9 is absolutely going to be hard. Right? I'm looking at tomorrow's game and I'm already like, God, can they win this game?
Yeah, I'm concerned because I'm going to tell you, I think we'll all agree the Wild took it to them in that third period, and the Blues looked gassed, from about the 10-minute part on, because the Wild just, once they saw blood and made it 5-2, yeah, they were happy about it. When it made 5-3, they really stepped it up a notch. And, a lot of people think, well, the Blues had it pretty easy in the first period and 2 periods and a half. Yeah, but you know what? You got that game tomorrow night. Your last experience was that terrible end of the third period, even though you won.
Yeah. So let's see. Wild do still control their own destiny in terms of the division. Yes, that is true. So we'll see. And that's why that point for the Wild is so important, because if they don't win it, they don't control their own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Blues' destiny. So that's what makes it important. They've got a good schedule. Both teams have good schedules, right? Mm-hmm. I like the Blues schedule later than I do earlier than Minnesota's, right? If you look at Minnesota's we've got some tough games coming up here. And at the end, what look like tough games, I don't think will be tough games, right? Colorado, we have them the next to last game of the season. They're locked in now. They'll be locked in, right? So they win one more game or get one more point, or we lose a point, they're locked in. Okay. With that being said, they're resting players that game. The Blues, a heavy team, they're gonna come out hitting. They're gonna rest guys. You're gonna see more. You're gonna see the bigger guys not get the minutes. If I would not want any of my guys hurt in that game, right? And that's how I feel about it. I'll try and send you a link there, Ian. I don't know how much longer we're gonna be, but right now I tried sending links earlier and it was not working at all. So I'll try it again. Let's see here. Yeah, it's for some reason I'm going to try something, see if this works, and maybe then I can send it. But yeah, my stuff is not working very good today.
What did you have Spectrum there?
Yeah, I'm on Spectrum.
Yeah, I've got. We had Spectrum 300 meg, and then we went to a gig with AT&T.
Yeah, I got a gig with Spectrum, but you know, a lot of devices. You know, I'm running 3 TVs here, right, with the game, and I have 2 computers and all of that other stuff. So I got a lot going on.
Yeah, but a gig should give you. I don't care how many computers you got going; it should still.
Yeah, but I live in an apartment building, so I'm not getting my whole gig.
I see. They have a gig for the whole complex.
No, I get a gig, but it's supposed to be a gig coming to me, but it never gets to me, right? Because everything that comes into the apartment complex gets lost here and there. So let's see. I'm going to try and send Ian again if I can find what I was looking for. Let's see here. No, it's still not. There we go. Maybe now I can send it. There we go. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. I finally got him there. Where are we at? He says, really not convinced with Colorado unless they show me otherwise. I think the Wild pair teams that end up playing Colorado could catch them off guard. Yeah, I am considered a little worried about that, to be honest, guys. Let's go. Here we go. We got Ian coming in. Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
What's up?
Well, thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. I couldn't get anything sent, man. My whole thing lacked up. Vegas getting beat up by Edmonton right now. I seen that, and that bodes well for you guys. That and Wild or the Kings not getting a point put you guys into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's 4-0 Oilers with 333 in the third.
333 in the third. Right, that was pretty cool, Wendy. I think it's pretty cool that you got to talk to Pat Foley and you know, meet him and all of that, and show him your jersey, and he was able. That was really pretty neat, man. I love it. Okay, Ian, I got to know your thoughts, man. What's your first thought right now?
Well, so I mean, like I said, I didn't get to watch like a single minute of the game because we got back-to-back calls, but I was paying attention to the score here and there. And I'll tell you what, from what I understand, though, how we played the first couple of periods, we were just super sloppy, or we weren't how do I put this? We weren't working hard enough. We were getting outworked, which made us sloppy. But once we got into the third period, once we scored that early goal, from my understanding, it kind of got a little better. We were kind of getting more clean passes, weren't getting intercepted in the neutral zone as bad. I know we have some fight in us because we were able to tie it up. That's usually what the Wild do. They get the tie up. But I mean, I can't be super confident in the Wild team going into a round 1 matchup with the Blues, especially if we haven't been able to beat them consistently for about 3 years. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is like you feel like okay because you came back, but I don't feel good about it because I mean you lost, and it doesn't matter because you lost the game, Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're 13-1-2 against you guys, and I don't know what yours is because of the overtimes. I don't know how many overtimes that we beat them. So, but you've still you know, you haven't gotten a lot of points against us.
No, it's been pretty dry. And same with Nashville. Nashville and
You got
the Blues.
you got 2 out of 6 points against us, and we got 6 out of 6.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Seems like that's how it's been going lately for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Just under Berube,
you didn't play the Minnesota did not play sloppy in the first 2 periods. Okay, let me put that straight. The Blues made them look sloppy. They didn't play sloppy, right? The Blues were hard on them. The Blues were checking them checking them. They weren't letting them through the zones. When they got in the zones, they were intercepting passes. There was no open lanes, right? So it wasn't that you played sloppy, it's that you got made to look sloppy. And there's a difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and that, and from what Michael Russo said on his Twitter, apparently our the grief line, you could really tell we were missing Greenway with that line tonight, where it was just not nearly effective enough. Fiala Boldy Goudreau line still stays hot. Of course, they've been on a tear lately. Kaprizov.
I don't think Greenway helps that line tonight. I really don't.
He does. It's really weird how when you put Greenway on that line, how it's a completely, those three, they work so well together. It's hard to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in the first 2 periods, it wouldn't have mattered. Right?
Yeah, well,
it wouldn't have mattered.
The entire team was just the effort wasn't there from the drop of the puck. I mean, we haven't played. I still don't think we've played in the last 3 years against the Blues. We haven't played a full 60-minute hockey game against the Blues. I mean, I know I think we got a win last year, but it hasn't been working out. You know.
Yeah. It's going to be a great series. It's going to be a great series, and it's not going to be a short. It's a 6 or 7 game series. Right?
I could see it. I don't know. It's really tough to say. I mean, I'm a Minnesota sports fan till the day I die, of course. But I mean, as a Minnesota sports fan, you're always cautiously optimistic, you know. But so I can't really get behind the team, especially against a team that we haven't shown we can beat. I know and I want to be clear that regular season and playoffs are completely different. Like I said it in the pregame that, like, last year we beat the Vegas 6 out of the 8 games we played them. Then we go down 3-1 early in the series. And even though we brought it back to a game 7, it's just playoffs and are completely different. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I know we were a little injured tonight, but I mean, that's not really an excuse because every team is injured around this time of year. You know, yep. I don't know.
Maybe. I feel like the Blues are in Minnesota's head. They're in Minnesota's fans' heads. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
They have been for about 5 years now. 3.
Yeah. No, the 2 teams match. Believe it or not, what's funny is the 2 teams match up well. Right? Oh, yeah. It's not like the Blues are that much better than the Wild. I think that they match up well. It's the Wild are the Blues or the Wild's Penguins, you know, or, you know, with the Capitals Penguins or the Blues Blackhawks, right? Yeah. It took us finally beating them in a series before we were able to consistently beat them.
And that's the thing. I mean, I think even since 2017, of course you guys know when we Wild beat the Wild in 5 games. Didn't you guys go to the? Did you guys go to the conference finals?
We beat them in 5, we beat them in 5.
Yeah, and I remember that. I remember that OT loss vividly. Seems like anytime the Wild's gone into the playoffs in an overtime game the last 4 years, we just lose within the first few minutes of the game. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I still think we take maybe 1 or 2 games in the series, but at this point I can't be confident that we're going to take it. Of course not. I mean, I don't know how if any Wild fan still think that the Wild are going to win 100%, they're lying to you. You know? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're in the team's head, and they're not. It's not like I'm losing sleep over this, but I am a hockey fan. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
The thing is,
answer the question for you.
Go ahead.
What's your take on if the Blues are going to ride one goalie or give both time in the playoffs?
Personally, I don't think giving them both time in the playoffs is a way to win.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it is we all remember years ago when the Blues played Dallas. And they had letting them in, and I can't remember their other goalie, 2 veterans. Yeah, Niemi. They were paying both of them $4.5-5 million, It didn't get him very far in the playoffs.
No.
You've got to show a strength in the playoffs with your goaltending. And in my mind, I'm sorry. I don't want to go into the playoffs with Bushhhhhh. I just don't. I like what he's done this year. I really hope Berube's smart enough and gets Bennington back to where he needs to be. He's looked very good in his last 2 games because, you know, and I know a lot of people are going to say this, and I get tired of hearing this. Husso's never played in the playoffs. He's never played this many games. Well, Bennington didn't either. Yeah, what Bennington did in the end of that 2019 season is one of the best 50-some-odd game stretches in the NHL history.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often. I mean, guys, how many times have you seen a rookie come in at the end of the year and take a team to a cup? It doesn't happen that often. I really want to see Bennington
Cam
in.
Ward, maybe.
Yeah, because I want to see. Yeah, I want to see. I mean, heck, New Jersey, when they brought Brodeur in for the last part of the season, his first couple of games in the NHL, they didn't play him in any of those games. They played their number 1 goalie. And in my mind, I love Husso. He might be a 1B and even a 1C. But if you want to go far in this playoffs, you've got to get Bennington right. I mean, it would be like if Crawford for Chicago had a bad snap, but he had won all those games, and you know, you knew he's gonna get back to where he was. And all of a sudden, you know, Quenneville going, nope, I'm going to go ahead and go with the young guy. Quenneville would have never done that.
Every playoff year from 2013 to 2015, the Hawks were questioned if Crawford was going to be the number 1 guy for the playoff runs, because 2013 we had Ray Emery, who was outstanding. Rest in peace to Emery. But we all knew Crawford was the starter, and he should have won the Conn Smythe that year. 2014, Crow had a few injuries, and they called up Antti Ranta, and Ranta played well. People thought Ranta could have started because Crow was coming back from an injury. 2015, same story. Crawford got injured, and Scott Darling came up, and Darling nearly stole the show because Crow started the playoffs, had a rough first game against Nashville, and they put in Scott Darling in the second period, I believe, and he went on to basically beat the Predators until it went to a game 6 and Corey Crawford was back in net.
Well,
yeah, and Jose, I don't think Bennington will be on a short leash unless he gives up 3 goals in 1 period. They're not going to yank him after 2 goals in 1 period. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I think for me, for me, tomorrow is Bennington's game. Tomorrow is so important for Bennington. If we lose 2-1, that's a good Bennington game. 3-2, maybe. If it's a close game with the low-scoring close game, then Bennington's back. Right? Because I can take a loss tomorrow. I'll be honest. I can take a loss tomorrow.
I think it's a big game for the team because you had this emotionally draining game in the 3rd period after being up. How are they going to respond? Are they going to be tired and think, it's just the Predators. We know we're going to be 2nd and 3rd. And I hope Berube doesn't let these guys do that. You know, it's like Ian was saying, the Wild haven't put a full 60 minutes against the Blues in a long time. Well, the Blues, you know, lately have been playing pretty good the 60 minutes, but in this game they just didn't. So I think we'll all agree it's a big game for both teams, even the Predators and the Blues.
Yeah. Who's traveling in that game? Who's to the road?
The Blues.
Okay.
We are. It's in Nashville.
Nashville's getting back-to-backs in home ice.
What's the Blues schedule looking like at the end of the season there?
I
you have 7 games left?
I think they have 9 games left, both teams, don't they? And Minnesota has got 6 games at home, 3 games on the road, and I think the Blues are either 4 games and 5 or 5 and 4. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I think the Wild have 8 and you guys have 7. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, well, 6 of their games left from what they showed on the thing tonight said we're at home. The Wild's games were at home.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That the Wild, I think it's still in the division, or at least the number 2 spot is still in the Wild. It's in the Wild's hands, whether they want to take it or not. Because
it is.
We still, you can get 114, we can get 115. That's the maximum right now for both teams. You guys are on an 8-game win streak, which is also pretty nice for you guys.
Yeah, I predicted about a week ago. I think Tanner asked me this question, or one of the other ones on Twitter, how many points I thought the Blues would get when they had 98. And I said I thought they'd get about 108 to 110. That's what I think they'll end up getting.
I was still in the 105. I was in the 105, 107 area.
We're close.
And because that's what they've been. That's the pace they've been playing at most of the season. And I'm still, it's probably going to be a little higher than that. But right now, you have two very good teams playing very well against each other in the playoffs.
Yep.
That is going to be
it's
going
to be fun. It's going to be, I've heard people, and I know Wendy and Ian and you guys all hate this. I'm not afraid of anybody in the playoffs. The only team that kind of makes me scared is Colorado. Well, you know what? When you play somebody, you've got to be at least a little bit afraid against them. You've got to know that you got to be on your game. You've got to go into that series with a fear. You don't want to lose. I don't care if it's Dallas can beat you in this playoffs. The Predators can beat you in this playoffs. Minnesota could beat the Blues in the playoffs, although I think the Blues are playing better right now. And we all know what Colorado's done. I think the team that's got the most to lose in this playoffs is Colorado. They've been the lead. They've been the ones out in front. The most of the pressure is on the Avalanche right now.
Now, are they going to go into the playoffs a little lagging now because they've just been ahead for so long? I really feel like a wild card team is going to surprise one of those two number one seeds.
It could be.
Dallas and Nashville have been playing pretty good hockey lately.
It's really gonna come down to it's definitely gonna come down to the matchups.
Yeah.
Right. It's absolutely gonna come down to the matchups, and Money Puck is. I'm looking at Money Puck right now, and when it comes down to the trying to blow this up a little bit. When it comes down to the Stanley Cup Finals, that who's going to win the cup, they're not giving anybody from. Well, actually, they're giving Minnesota a lot of love. Actually, now that I see this, they're giving Minnesota a 6.7% chance.
I don't listen to them, because hey, this game is judged on how you play, and like you say, Guy, you hear the game and you watch the game. Because Money Puck, all it does is take analytics. And to me, you can't
the thing is, though, in 19, they were the only ones that were predicting the Blues were going to win the cup at the beginning of the cup. They were giving the Blues one of the better chances.
To me, that was pretty easy. They were one of the best top two teams in the league for that second part of the season.
Like 28-8
and
or something crazy like that for the last
coming into it. Yeah.
I never put a lot into those things. I just don't, and that's just me. I understand why people like them, and they're good to talk about, but I never really put a lot into them. I don't know if you do, Wendy, or
I don't look into the analytic game all that much because I think if this is my thing, they're chart nerds who are running the analytics.
Yep.
They are looking at charts and they aren't watching watching hockey play out. They look at plus minus, which is a stupid stat in my opinion, and they see okay, and then they add to it. But there's more than just charts for a sport. Hockey is a sport you can have great charts at versus a bad charts. You could play great hockey and you're still viewed as a terrible hockey player.
Yeah, and one of the analytics I hate, Wendy, is a goalie's analytic of what kind of shot they face. Was it a good high scoring chance?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And I'm sure you're all going to agree with me. Let's say it's 15 foot out and it's a high scoring chance. Let's just say from where the guy's at. Doesn't it make a difference if that's Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid taking that shot, or if it's Letty? Yeah, but analytics doesn't take that into consideration. I think with all the sports, analytics is the one that you can't, and hockey analytics are the one that you can't really rely on.
Yeah, well, and you got to have a healthy balance of both. Like, there's no analytic for locker room chemistry on a team, it's just one of those things where teams can get hot and then they just play well together because that's just how it works. But I think this is going to be. It is either way. It's going to be a good series. I mean, I know because this year we've, except for the first game, we've played each other very close at least this year. Both of them went to overtime. 3-on-3 overtime is a bit of a crapshoot in my opinion. So it's kind of tough to. That could have gone either way, but we'll see what happens.
No, it is, and the only game that was handily won was the Winter Classic.
Yeah, and that was
right,
and that 6-4. that was just a. I don't know if we. I think we should have pulled Talbot a little sooner than that. I think that game would have been a bit easier if we better if we pulled Talbot, and we can still hold the puck for 9 minutes on 6-on-5 without getting scored on. At least we know that,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did what you had to do, and it's okay. At that point, to me, the extra 2 goals don't matter. That score should have been 6-2.
Yeah, unless it gets to, I think unless it gets to 1 goal, then it doesn't really matter too much to me as well. I think if we were able to get it to like 6-5, I'd be like, okay, that was a really close game. But since it was 6-4, it was a Blues win all the way for sure.
Yeah. Blues never trailed in that game.
No, it was
right?
It was one-sided. No,
and then we didn't trail in this one either. So. Well, guys, we're coming right up on that 1 hour mark. Great show. Tomorrow, we've got the Blues versus the Predators at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I think that's right. Is it's noon or 5 p.m.?
It says 5 on
5 p.m. Central Daylight Time, noon my time, so 11:30 Hawaii Standard Time, 5:30 or 4:30 St. Louis time. We'll be on with the pregame show. This is your pregame show. Now, that game will be on NHL Network, so I think it should be on Bally's. Tuesday's game is on ESPN Plus, so the only pregame is my pregame. Remember that and tell your friends. So this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for Ian, Wendy, and Lance saying aloha and mahalo. We'll see you all tomorrow on the pregame show. Aloha.